Hi friends, today I am training on Coding Meetup number 8, higher order function series, will all continents be represented? In this, in my opinion, really interesting kata, I will be given an array of objects, like as always, and I have to return true if all the continents or geographic zones will be represented, and false otherwise. So, for example, if I have this list 1, so I see that I have Africa, Americas, Asia, Europe, and Oceania, and so that's all 5 of them, all 5 of those continents, and all of them are represented, so I am returning true. Alright, so that being clear, let's go to the test. And again, I am requiring the expect from the child library. I'm renaming my vars consts, like not changing them. And I start with describe statement. I'm describing all continents, right? And giving that callback function. I will be having 2 it blocks, so as always works with list 1 as the first callback, and works with list 2. Okay, so how would I test that, right? So again, I'm expecting all continents given list 1 to be true. And for list 2, I expect all continents given list 2 to be false, right? Because true here, false here, and I don't need the original tests anymore. I can very easily prove that those are correct, because I can see Africa, Americas, Asia, Europe, Oceania, and just Africa in the list 2. So list 1, all 5 of them, list 2, just 1 of them, so that automatically makes it false. Right? So I have my tests ready. Let's... Oh, by the way, before we start, I kind of I haven't done that yet, but it's always a good idea just to try to run your tests to see that you have them failing. Okay, that kind of happens naturally when you're doing like real-life development, but in Codewars, it's always a good idea to just do this initial run to make sure that your tests are okay. All right, so let's move to the actual solution. So, all continents, and I will be given a list as always. So, what should I return? Initially, my initial idea is, look, so I have like 5 items in an array, so I'm listing all those items first, and I am checking if all of them are found, like if each of them are found inside this inside this list, right? So let's try to do that. The first one is Africa. Second one is Americas. Third one is Asia. Then Europe. And lastly, Oceania. Right? Then remember they're using this function every, right? Every makes sure that all of the callbacks return true. Okay, so if at least one of this callback is returning false, that means the whole function is returning false. How do I make sure that I find each and every one of them in the list? That's very easy actually. Just use the find function. So list dot find. So I'm finding this v in the list. To do that, I have to kind of get the continent, right, using the new ES6 spread, and some sorry, not spread, that's wrong, that's the deconstruction. I'm deconstructing this array, destructing this array, and I get not array, this object, and I get the continent property. So I have continent property, right? And I want to make sure that continent is equal to v, right? So again, how will it work? First of all, the v will be represented for each and every one of them, except, of course, until the first one returns false, then it kind of stops. It does not iterate all over. As soon as one fails, the whole function just returns false. So I try to find this v inside my list, and specifically it has to be this continent property. So the list has to be list element must have continent property, and it must be equal to v. Right? So let's try that. Let's run examples. Very good. So examples are working. I kind of have a different solution. So let's try that. The different solution is, look, so they consider there to be just 5 continents, right? So we don't actually have to like really iterate through all 5 of them, right? Just have to make sure that if there are 5 elements inside an array and they are unique inside this list, right? How would I do that? So const all continents is a list, and first of all I have to get the actual continent, right? So I do that using this this syntax. What it does is takes the list. Oh, forgot my map. So I got my list, right? This list map iterates through all the elements in the list, and I'm just getting the continent, right? I just care about the continent, so I'm pulling it out, and I'm actually returning this continent immediately. So what that will give me is all the continents in the list. Now I have to make sure they are unique. This can be achieved in like various number of ways, but one of the easy ones is just using filter. And its filter is I'm going to use not V as always, but also I and A. And you'll very soon understand why I need all three of them. First of all, I'm using A to get its get the index of V, and this index has to be I. Basically what that means is as soon as the index is not I, not the first one, so this A index of V gets the first index of V if V is a duplicate value. So let's say we have two Africas and one has an index of 0 and second one has an index of 1. So A index of V, always index of Africa, will always return 0, and this I will be 0 for the first one and 1 for the second one. So the second one will be filtered out. So that makes sure that I have just unique values. Then I got the length of it and make sure that the length is 5. This solution is not as robust as the first one, but it is a little bit shorter, like not by a lot, but a little bit, right? And also it's just an alternative using map and filter. Let's try if that works. I am probably going to submit my first one because that's more robust, but the second one is like probably a little bit smarter. So let's run it. Yep, the tests are passing. So that's how you get to know if all the continents will be represented. I hoped that you liked this kata, and see you in the next kata. Bye, friends.